Does my child really need orthotics? This is one of the most common questions I get from parents, and I understand why. You've probably been told your child has flat feet, maybe by their pediatrician, or maybe you noticed it yourself. Then someone mentions orthotics, and suddenly you're wondering if your child needs special shoe inserts for the rest of their life. The truth is, the decision about whether a child needs orthotics isn't as straightforward as many people think. Not all flat feet are created equal. Some flat feet are perfectly normal and will never cause problems. Others can lead to pain, fatigue, and difficulty in sports and activities. The key is knowing the difference. My name is Dr. Andrew Schneider, and I'm a podiatrist here in Houston, Texas. I've been working with children and their families for over 25 years. In my practice, I see kids of all ages, from toddlers just learning to walk to teenagers competing in high-level athletics. And one thing I've learned is that when it comes to flat feet and orthotics, there's a lot of misinformation out there. Many parents are told their child needs orthotics without a proper explanation of why. Others are told to wait and see if their child grows out of flat feet, even when the child is experiencing symptoms. The reality is that proper evaluation and understanding of your child's specific situation is crucial for making the right decision. What most parents don't realize is that the right shoes can make a huge difference for children with flat feet, sometimes eliminating the need for orthotics altogether. And when orthotics are needed, there are different types designed specifically for children that work very differently than adult orthotics. In today's module, I'm going to explain the difference between flexible and rigid flat feet, when the flat feet actually become a problem, how the right shoes can make a huge difference, and when orthotics truly help versus when they're unnecessary. I'll also bust some common myths about orthotics that might be causing you unnecessary worry. Before we get started, please like this video and share it on social media. Hit subscribe so you won't miss another video. I wrote a book all about children's foot health. You can get it for free at www.kidsfootbook.com. The link is in the description below. Let me start by explaining what we mean when we talk about flat feet in children. When we say a child has flat feet, we're talking about feet where the arch behaves low or absent when the child is standing. But here's the crucial distinction. There are two very different types of flat feet. Flexible flat feet are by far the most common type. With flexible flat feet, the arch disappears when your child stands up, and it comes back when they sit down or go up on their tiptoes. These feet are flexible and mobile. Most flexible flat feet are not dangerous. In fact, many children with flexible flat feet never experience any problems at all. They run, play sports, live completely normal active lives. Rigid flat feet are different. With rigid flat feet, there is no arch, whether your child is sitting or standing or on their tiptoes. These feet tend to be stiff and less mobile. Rigid flat feet are much less common, but they're more likely to cause problems and may need treatment. So when do flat feet actually become a problem and needs attention? The answer isn't just about how the feet look, it's about how they function and whether they're causing symptoms. Flat feet become a problem when they cause pain. If your child is complaining that their feet hurt, especially after walking or playing, that's a sign we need to pay attention to. They become a problem when they cause fatigue. Some children with flat feet get tired much more quickly than their friends. Their legs feel heavy. They want to sit down frequently during exercises. Flat feet can also become a problem when they affect athletic performance. If your child is having trouble keeping up in sports, or if they're avoiding activities they used to enjoy, their foot structure may be playing a role. And finally, flat feet can be a problem when they cause abnormal walking patterns. If your child's ankles are rolling inward significantly, or you're noticing very uneven shoe wear, that can indicate that the flat feet are affecting their mechanics. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked, the role of shoes in foot development. What your child wears on their feet can make a huge difference in how their feet feel and function, especially if they have flat feet. Here's what matters most in a children's shoe, and it's not what most parents think. First, the shoe needs to be flexible. Children's feet are still developing. They need to be able to move and flex naturally. A shoe that's too rigid can actually interfere with normal foot development. But flexibility doesn't mean no support. The shoe should have a good heel counter, and that's the back part of the shoe that cups the heel. A Firm heel counter helps to control the position of the foot and can make a big difference for children with flat feet. The shoe should also fit properly. Seems obvious, but you'll be surprised how many children are wearing shoes that are too big, too small, or the wrong shape for their feet. And here's something many parents don't realize. The shoe should have some arch support built in. Not necessarily a lot, but some gentle support can help children with flat feet feel more comfortable. Now let's talk about the common shoe mistakes that I see that can make flat feet worse. Hand-me-down shoes are a big one. I know it's tempting to pass shoes down from one child to another, but shoes mold to the shape of the foot that wears them. And what worked for one child might not work for another. Oversized shoes are another problem. Some parents buy their shoes that are too big, thinking their child will grow into them. But shoes that are too big don't provide proper support and can actually cause problems. And finally, minimal support athletic shoes. While these might be fine for some children, kids with flat feet often need more support than what these shoes provide. So when do we consider orthotics for children with flat feet? Let me explain the different types of orthotics we use and when each one's appropriate. For younger children with mild flat feet or having some symptoms, I often start with what we call little steps pediatric insoles. These provide mild support for growing feet without overcorrecting the problem. The key with children is that we want to provide support, but we don't want to do all the work for their feet. We want their muscles to continue to develop and strengthen. Little steps insoles are made of a firm plastic that cradles the foot and repositions it into a stable position. They have a deep heel cup and control the heel position and flanges on both sides to support the foot. There's really no other insole that's as well constructed and effective for children. For children who need more control, maybe they're older, more active, or have more significant symptoms, then we might consider custom orthotics. Custom orthotics are made from a mold of your child's foot, which allows us to maximize the support and control. We take detailed measurements and watch how your child walks to design their orthotics specifically for their needs. The goal of custom orthotics is to manage all the compensation that the foot has been doing, allowing your child's foot to work as efficiently as possible. There's also something called gait plates, which we use specifically for children who have in-toeing gait patterns along with their flat feet. These help retrain the walking mechanics. Now let me address some myths about orthotics that cause unnecessary worry for parents. The biggest myth is that orthotics weaken the feet. This is false when orthotics are properly prescribed for children who actually need them. Think of it this way. If your child needed glasses, you wouldn't worry that the glasses would weaken their eyes. Orthotics work the same way. They provide support where it's needed while allowing the feet to function properly. Another myth is that all children will grow out of flat feet. While it's true that some children develop arches as they grow, others don't. And waiting to see what happens isn't always the best approach, especially if your child's having symptoms. The key is a proper evaluation and appropriate treatment when it's needed. So how do you know if your child might benefit from orthotics? Here are the signs to look for. If your child complains of foot pain, especially after activities, if they experience leg fatigue and want to sit down frequently during play, if they trip frequently or they seem unsteady on their feet, if they have heel pain during sports activities, or if you notice poor alignment when they're standing or walking. When we evaluate a child for possible orthotics, we do what's called a pediatric gait evaluation. We watch how your child walks, runs, both with and without shoes. We analyze their footwear and see how their feet are functioning. We assess their growth and flexibility to understand how their feet are developing. We also look at their overall alignment to check for any areas of tightness or weakness that might be contributing to their symptoms. The evaluation helps us determine not just whether your child needs orthotics, but what type would be the most appropriate for their specific situation. Here's something important to understand. The right support early in the child's development can prevent bigger problems later. When flat feet cause poor mechanics, the body tries to compensate. Over time, these compensation patterns can lead to problems in the knees, hip, and back. By providing appropriate support when it's needed, we can help ensure that your child's feet develop in the best way possible and prevent future complications. But remember, not every child with flat feet needs orthotics. Many children with flexible flat feet do perfectly fine with proper shoes and normal activities. The key is knowing when intervention is helpful and when it's not necessary. Let me give you some practical guidance for moving forward. If your child has flat feet but no symptoms, no pain, no fatigue, no problems with activity, then you probably don't need to worry. Focus on good shoes and let their feet develop naturally. If your child has flat feet and mild symptoms, start with proper footwear. Make sure they're wearing shoes with good support and proper fit, and see if that makes a difference. If your child has flat feet and significant symptoms, pain, fatigue, difficulty with activities, then it's time for an evaluation. We can determine whether orthotics would be helpful and what type would be most appropriate. Remember, every child is different. What works for one child might not be the right for another. That's why individual evaluation is so important. The good news is that we have excellent options for helping children with flat feet. Whether it's proper shoes, over-the-counter insoles, or custom orthotics, we can usually find a solution that helps your child feel comfortable and stay active. Thanks for taking the time to watch this module. Please take a moment to like, comment, subscribe, and share on social media to help other parents find this information. Don't forget to pick up my free book about children's foot health at www.kidsfootbook.com. The link is at the top of the description. If you're concerned about your child's flat feet, or if they're experiencing any symptoms we discussed today, don't hesitate to reach out. The right support early can prevent bigger problems later, and we're here to help you determine what's best for your child. The link to request an appointment is also in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.